Imagine this for a second. Your restaurant, or maybe your hotel's dining room, it's just buzzing. Every single table booked, people happily queuing, those five-star reviews just flooding in online, and, well, your turnover. It's higher than you even dreamed of. Sounds amazing, right? Maybe too good to be true. Not necessarily. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on actionable insights for you, the hotel and restaurant owners listening. We want to help you thrive in what we all know is a super competitive world. And this whole deep dive is built completely on the insights of Maurice. He's a real expert, a hospitality professional specializing in food and beverage. After, analyzing literally hundreds of successful places, he distilled it down to what he calls 11 golden rules. Our mission today is basically to unpack these rules, to show you how they can potentially transform your place from just, an ordinary eatery into what Maurice calls a veritable culinary empire. Get ready, because these aren't just vague ideas.
No, absolutely not. That's what's so great about Maurice's work. These are really actionable strategies. They're not just theories up in the clouds. These are, tangible steps you can put into practice, like tomorrow. And they can have a real measurable impact on your sales, your reviews, even your team's morale. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
Okay, let's do it. Diving straight into Maurice's 11 secrets. We'll start with the real foundations of the dining experience. Secret, #1, temperature, your secret weapon. Now you might be thinking, temperature? Really? How big a deal can that be? But Maurice insists it's absolutely crucial. I mean, think about this stat he found. 73% of customers judge a restaurant from that very first bite.
Exactly. And temperature pretty much dictates that first impression, doesn't it?
It really does.
So he gives very specific rules. Hot dishes, minimum 82 degrees Celsius. That's 180 Fahrenheit. And crucially, the plates need to be hot, too preheated to 125 Celsius or 250 Fahrenheit. And a big warning from him, never ever use heat lamps. He says they just dry everything out.
Ah, okay. Good tip. What about cold stuff?
For cold dishes, the ideal is a really crisp 3 degrees Celsius, 38 Fahrenheit. Use chilled plates, definitely. And things like salads. Take them out absolutely last minute. Keep them fresh.
Right. And there's this story Maurice tells. He calls it the story that changes everything. It's about a bistro owner, Mike Hurst, apparently on the edge of bankruptcy. Loads of complaints.
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
So, out of desperation, he invests in a proper plate fridge and a professional plate warmer. Just those two things.
And the results were just incredible, weren't they?
Unbelievable. Sales jumped 40% in 3 months. His online reviews went from, a dismal 2.1 stars to 4.7, just from getting the temperature right.
It really shows the direct link, As Maurice puts it, perfect temperature equals happy customers equals cash coming in.
Sure.
Simple as that almost.
Yeah.
It proves this small detail is actually massive.
It really does make sense when you lay it out like that. Okay, moving to secret #2. Quality ingredients, your reputation at stake.
Right.
We hear quality all the time, but Maurice really hammers home why it's worth spending that bit extra. He points to a 2024 study showing that 86%, that's huge, 86% of customers are actually willing to pay 20% more if they know they're getting fresh local ingredients.
Yeah, that's a massive number. People will pay for quality. And this is where he talks about those death traps to avoid, little things that can kill your reputation.
Like what specifically?
Well, think about soggy, greasy fries. He reckons they scare off 1 in 3 customers straight away.
Wow.
His advice, change your oil often, religiously, and use fresh potatoes if you possibly can. Another big one is wilted salads. Looks sad, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely off-putting.
So he advises, check your greens, all your veg, twice a day, be ruthless, throw away anything that's not perfect, and really invest in good local suppliers. Build that relationship. It pays off in freshness and consistency.
And the numbers back it up too, his research. Restaurants using 80% fresh ingredients generate, on average, 35% more revenue.
35%.
Yeah, and maybe more important, their customers come back 3 times more often. That's loyalty right there.
That's the repeat business you want.
Exactly. Okay, that leads nicely into secret #3.
Yeah.
The presentation, your visual impact.
Yeah.
The old saying, the eye eats first. Apparently, our brains process images 60,000 times faster than text.
Wow, I didn't know the exact number, but it makes sense. That first look at the plate really sets the expectation, doesn't it? It determines appetite instantly.
Totally. So how do we nail the presentation according to Maurice?
Well, he gives some really practical techniques that make all the difference. First up, colors. Play with them. Aim for at least 3 distinct colors on every plate. Avoid what he calls the deadly beige monochrome.
Huh, love that phrase.
Yeah, it paints a picture, doesn't it? Use colorful veg as decoration, make things pop. Second, master the art of dressing, basically how you arrange things. Serve sauces on the side, apparently. Customers love feeling in control.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, use fresh garnishes, obviously. And critically, don't overload the plate. Keep it clean, focus. Less is often more visually.
Right, right. And he has a really strong warning here too, doesn't he? Something he calls the costly mistake.
Oh, yeah, he's very clear on this. Never, never put anything inedible on the plate. No plastic flowers, no weird non-food decorations.
Why is he so adamant?
Because he says it can just completely ruin the experience. It feels cheap, it's confusing, and it can seriously tarnish your reputation. A small detail, but with potentially huge negative consequences.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered temperature, ingredients, presentation, the plate itself. Now let's zoom out a bit.
Right, into the wider operation, things like hygiene, service, innovation, the stuff that builds the whole experience.
Exactly. Let's kick off with secret #4, hygiene and safety, your life insurance. And Maurice uses some pretty scary figures here to make his point.
Yeah, these are sobering.
He says 1 in 6 restaurants eventually close because of a food poisoning incident.
1 in 6. Wow.
And foodborne illnesses. They cost businesses an average of 180,000 euros in losses, legal fees, lost custom, you name it.
And the reputational damage.
Huge. Maybe the worst stat. 94% of customers say they will never return after a bad hygiene experience. 94%.
Right.
It's not just about rules, it's literally survival.
Absolutely. It's non-negotiable. So he lays out what he calls your anti-disaster action plan. It's very structured.
What does that involve?
Well, first, staff training. Mandatory sessions every 3 months. Regular quizzes to check knowledge. Making sure everyone's hygiene certificates are actually up to date.
Okay, makes sense.
Then, protective gear. Disposable gloves, changed every hour, no exceptions. Hair nets for everyone in the kitchen. Aprons need to be cleaned daily. Basic stuff, but needs discipline.
Right.
And finally, strict procedures. Things like cleaning utensils after every single use, checking fridge and freezer temps 3 times a day, and really rigorous stock rotation. First in, first out, no shortcuts.
It sounds like a lot, but crucial. Okay, that flows right into secret #5. Impeccable service, your competitive difference. So how does Maurice define impeccable service as the difference maker? And what's this success equation he talks about?
Okay, the equation he uses is pretty simple but powerful. Perfect service leads to happy customers. Happy customers generate positive word of mouth. That brings in more customers, which, at the end of the day, means more money.
A virtuous cycle.
Exactly. It feeds itself. And he breaks down what makes service excellent into key pillars. First, speed without haste. Getting food out efficiently, but not making people feel rushed.
Are there benchmarks?
Yeah, he suggests aiming for a maximum of 12 minutes for starters, 20 minutes for main course. But, and this is key, if there is going to be a delay, you have to tell the customer proactively. Manage expectations.
Okay, and the second pillar.
Absolute precision. This means double-checking every order, carefully noting any allergies or preferences the customer mentions, and if something's off the menu, being ready to offer smart, suitable alternatives, not just saying no.
Which reminds me of that technique he mentions, the yes but technique. How does that work again?
Right. It's brilliant. So instead of saying, no, we don't have that, but when a customer asks for something tricky, you train staff to say, yes, I understand what you're looking for, and here's what I can do for you.
Ah, okay. Subtle shift.
It's a complete mindset shift. It turns a potential negative, an objection, into a chance to show initiative, provide great service, and maybe even delight the customer. It empowers the staff to find solutions.
I like that. Very practical. Okay, next up, secret #6. Innovation and differentiation, your unique signature. Maurice seems pretty blunt here.
He is. He basically says, stand out from the crowd or disappear.
Yeah.
He points out the sheer number of restaurants, like 185,000 in France alone, he mentions, and says in that kind of saturated market, innovation isn't optional anymore. It's an absolute necessity.
So if you're not innovating, you're essentially falling behind.
Pretty much. So he offers what he calls your weapons of mass differentiation, basically. Powerful ways to make your mark.
Okay, like what kind of weapons?
Well, a big one is championing homemade items. Things you make exceptionally well that nobody else does quite the same way. Maybe it's an exclusive signature dessert, or amazing warm artisan bread served to every table, or unique homemade jams and sauces. Things that scream you.
Things people will remember and talk about.
Exactly. Another angle is creating memorable experiences. Little touches, like maybe minute toasted croutons for a soup brought fresh to the table, or doing some theatrical plating or dressing of a dish right there in the dining room, or even just unexpected little treats with the bill. Things that elevate the moment.
And he shares Sarah's story here, right? The struggling restaurant in Lyon.
Yeah, it's a great example. Small place, really finding it tough. So what does she do? She focuses and creates her own signature recipe for walnut bread, serves it warm, with special special homemade herb butter.
Just bread.
Dust bread, but done exceptionally well and uniquely hers. He says it became her signature. People started coming specifically for Sarah's bread. Word got out, and soon enough, her restaurant was booked solid, like 6 nights a week.
Wow, that really shows the power of finding that one unique thing and doing it brilliantly.
Definitely. It doesn't have to be complicated, just distinctive and excellent.
All right, great insights. Let's move into the final stretch, refining those crucial details. This starts with secret #7. Eliminate inadequate procedures. Maurice says these details seem small, insignificant even, but they can destroy entire companies. What's he talking about here?
He's talking about those seemingly minor slip-ups in day-to-day operations that, if they happen consistently, just kill your reputation stone dead. Things you might not even notice unless you're looking closely.
Can you give some examples? What are these mistakes that kill?
Sure. He calls out the stale bread trap. Serving bread that isn't perfectly fresh, his rule. Check it every single morning. Be brutal. Yesterday's bread gets tossed. No sentimentality. And always reheat it slightly just before serving.
Okay, simple but important. What else?
The frozen dessert mistake. Serving dessert straight from the freezer, maybe still a bit icy. The fix. Take them out a good 30 minutes before service. Check the texture. And absolutely never visible ice crystals. That's a direct quote.
Right. These sound like training issues as much as anything.
Absolutely. Which is why he stresses mandatory ongoing training. Keep procedures updated, maybe monthly. Do surprise quality checks yourself. And this is key. Analyze customer feedback every single week to spot recurring problems. It demands constant vigilance.
Constant improvement. Got it. Okay, this flows perfectly into secret #8, Banish Pathetic Presentation. He's pretty direct with that title.
Yes, he doesn't hold back. His point is, your plate tells a story. Every dish that comes out of your kitchen is a message. So the question for you, the listener, is, what message are your plates sending right now?
So what are his rules for professional, non-pathetic presentation?
Okay, he lays out a few key things. First, no stray liquids. Drain vegetables properly. Wipe plate edges meticulously before they go out. No little puddles of sauce where they shouldn't be. Cleanliness is paramount.
Makes sense.
Second, think about harmonious colors and textures. You want variety. Alternate smooth things with crunchy things. Play with different heights on the plate. And remember that minimum of 3 contrasting colors we talked about earlier.
Right, the anti-beige rule.
Exactly. And finally, smart toppings. Remember the inedible rule. Here, it's about ensuring toppings are not only edible, but actually enhance the dish. They should make sense, look fresh, and be appetizing.
And he has that killer test, doesn't he? The Instagram test.
Yeah, it's brilliant because it's so relevant today. He says, photograph each of your dishes. Seriously, would you want to order that if you saw it on Instagram? If the answer is no, or even maybe, you need to rework your presentation. Simple as that.
That's a great practical benchmark. Okay, secret #9, turn your pitiful products into nuggets. Strong words again. What's the core idea here?
It's about excellence in every single detail. He argues that truly great restaurants don't just have amazing main courses. Every element on the plate, even the humble side dishes, needs to be exceptional. No weak links.
So turning those potentially pitiful or overlooked items into highlights or nuggets.
Precisely. And he gives us your ultimate quality checklist to help.
What's on the checklist?
Okay, for vegetables, they need to be crunchy, bright, natural colors, never soft or dull, cooked carefully to keep vitamins. For fries, the goal is irresistible. Crispy outside, fluffy inside, and absolutely never greasy or mushy.
The dreaded mushy fry.
The worst. And for meat, cooked precisely to the requested temperature every time. Rested properly at least 5 minutes, he says, and cut expertly. Each element needs care.
And he shares a tip from Michelin-starred chefs too, right? Something very simple.
Yeah, it's incredibly simple but powerful. Taste everything before serving. Every component, every dish.
Yeah.
He claims this one habit prevents something like 90% of customer returns and guarantees consistency.
Just taste it. Seems obvious, but maybe easily skipped in a busy service.
Could be, but skipping it is a huge risk, according to Maurice.
Right. Okay. Almost there. Secret. #10. Revolutionize your prosaic policies. Prosaica means dull every day, right? So changing dull policies.
Yeah, basically looking at those routine operational rules and procedures that might seem boring, but getting them wrong can really undermine the whole customer experience. He calls them the little rules that change everything.
Okay. What areas does he focus on?
Key things are intelligent substitution. We touched on this. If you have to make a change, always offer a good alternative. Tell the customer before you make the change. And try to frame it positively, turn the problem into an opportunity to show you care.
Makes sense. What else?
Consistent portion. This requires having precise, standardized recipes that everyone follows. Good training for the kitchen team. And regular visual checks by the chef or manager to make sure dishes look uniform leaving the pass. Customers notice inconsistency.
Definitely.
And finally, something he calls obsessive cleanliness. This goes beyond basic hygiene. It's about immaculate plates, cutlery that shines, glasses without a single spot or fingerprint. That level of detail.
And he has a golden rule for substitution specifically.
Yes. Never negatively surprise a customer. Always communicate. He says, a substitution announced with a smile becomes an appreciated personalized service. It's all about managing that interaction well.
Communication is key. Okay, final secret. Secret. #11. Add irresistible bonus points. This sounds like the fun part.
It is. This is about going the extra mile. Those little touches, as he calls them, that turn an ordinary visit into a memorable souvenir.